My name is Brian Bird. I'm co-founder and COO of Quantic Mind. Quantic Mind enables performance marketers to achieve superior results. And we do that with a combination of technology as well as world-class services and agency support. The journey of Quantic Mind started actually more than 10 years ago. The team of us that eventually started the company were a group of digital marketing geeks and data nerds, and we were helping companies with large customer acquisition budgets acquire new customers, but we were doing it on the part of a large affiliate marketing company. And that company was so effective at digital customer acquisition that these large brands were allocating hundreds of millions of dollars to this affiliate marketing company to do it for them. The three of us who eventually broke out and started Quantic Mind knew that those brands would want to do customer acquisition for themselves rather than being reliant on a third party. And so ultimately we launched Quantic Mind to offer them the technology platform to be able to do world-class customer acquisition for themselves. At Quantic Mind, we really begin with the customer journey. We're going to identify all the various systems that are tracking portions of that customer journey and/or influencing how customer journeys ultimately transpire. And Quantic Mind will bring all those data sources together and unify that data back to dollars invested in digital advertising campaigns, and also back to individual customers or individual user profiles. And having that data set then is really a jump-off point to be able to enable automation for future paid acquisition campaigns, and also to unlock some really powerful insights into how those customer journeys are transpiring, and ultimately be able to enable other portions of your company to be able to use those insights to improve products, to optimize sales programs, and be able to holistically drive results. For e-commerce companies that are either strapped for financial resources and/or just getting started and really being able to build the technical infrastructure to be able to build a long-term sustainable customer acquisition program, the most important thing I can recommend they do is start with the data. Make sure that every opportunity to measure an engagement with a prospect is something that you're capturing and collecting, because when you ultimately are paying to drive traffic to your website or your experiences, you're certainly paying for the chance to get a sale or a conversion. But perhaps even more important than that, you're paying to get insights and the story behind each of those customer engagements, and that's going to help you do more effective and cost-efficient future acquisition efforts. So it's really about the data. Make sure that you're capturing, collecting every engagement possible. The challenges of personalized marketing and really coming up with an effective strategy to overcome those challenges, it really does begin with customer data and measuring your journey and your funnel. And so I'd strongly suggest not only having the infrastructure in place to be able to capture and collect those data points, but also making sure that you are keeping a holistic view of the entire customer journey when you're thinking about this and evaluating it. That'll help you keep the individual components in perspective, ultimately when you're thinking about it holistically. The e-commerce market is experiencing dramatic change right now. We're in the midst of it, and this is only going to continue. So when we think about what we see changing, certainly the way that a consumer can ultimately engage with an offering or with a supplier. The voice search, for example, with Alexa and Google is completely changing the paradigm of how people shop for items around their home, and definitely see that moving toward groceries and all the typical home consumables that are important to everyday life. So we've really only started to see what that will mean for the shift in e-commerce. I think quickly behind that will be the advent of car-based dashboards, and how a similar type of experience as what Alexa and Google Home are bringing for the home will also be introduced in vehicles. And ultimately that could turn into displays and opportunities for engagement in, say, the back of an Uber. There could be an iPad there that's connected to Amazon or Walmart and allows you to do easy shopping and browsing in an enjoyable format there. So we're really still beginning to see what this massive paradigm shift is going to mean, but certainly for consumers, it's going to mean easier access to things that they can purchase. And for advertisers, it's going to mean substantially more complexity to how they think about where and how to invest their budgets.